Hello, hello. Welcome to today's People Chat. You are joining this week's COO Team People Chat, and we're really excited today to be talking about a really important topic. It is 5 recruitment hacks that you should try today. So, if you are a leader leading an organization, whether you're a nonprofit leader or a small business entrepreneur, we want to let you know that this broadcast is for you. Each week, we take really important topics relating to people and demystify them and share tips. And so, in just a moment, we will have Crystal Speed join us. She is an HR strategist. And if you are joining this broadcast for the first time, I am Lori Ruffin. I am the founder of the COO team and operations strategist. And we're really excited to be talking about this subject today. So, in just a moment, I will bring her on. Started, we want to invite you to share this to your page so that you can come back to it at your convenience, as well as you can share it with other leaders that you know that have people needs. So, hey, Crystal, welcome.
Hi, Lori. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I am doing well. I am doing well. I'm really excited to be able to be with you today and to be able to share some, actually, 5 recruitment hacks that our leaders can try today. Oftentimes, leaders find it difficult to find the right talent at the right time and maybe utilizing techniques and strategies that are a bit outdated and antiquated. So we're just going to talk about 5 hacks that they can implement today that will really help boost their recruitment efforts. So excited to be able to dig into that.
Yes. Well, I've already told everyone to share. If you're watching, again, I encourage you to share this because you never know who needs to recruit someone and who could be helped by these hacks. So, how about we dig in? What is the first thing that we should be doing to jumpstart our recruitment process, Crystal?
Well, so let me just start by saying again that, many times when individuals find that they have a talent need, they utilize strategies that are very antiquated or really don't fit into the way that both passive, so like people who aren't really looking for a job right now, and active candidates are really engaging with the job market. So the first thing that I would recommend is get social. And so,
Mm.
definitely engaging in social networking and being on the sites that make sense for your brand and that makes sense for your company. And doing it not when you have a position that's become available, but doing it well in advance. So, of course, being social should be part of your overall marketing strategy, but it does have a people component associated with it. As people are really seeing the values of your organization lived out in your content that you're posting in your feed, they're able to get a really good sense of what this organization is all about. And that's communicating just very powerful concepts to individuals who may not even be actively looking for a job. So by being able to be very consistent in the messaging and your branding as it's presented on social media outlets, you're really building up a pipeline of individuals that may be actively looking now or may be looking later, and they're just learning more about your organization. But
Mm-hmm.
when you do have a requirement that comes up, then looking at the right networks to be able to share that particular job description or the opportunity that you have in your organization. So not all social media outlets are created equal, and based upon your brand as well as the individuals that you're engaging with already on these social networks, I'd say choose very wisely how you communicate those requirements and just what you share where. So, a Facebook posting may look different from an Instagram post, from a LinkedIn post, from something that you have on Twitter. So thinking about how do you engage in those and how do those social media channels really work in general, you can be able to craft something that really helps you be able to put that job position out there in a way that will hopefully help you gain candidates that are qualified and really meet the needs that you have in your organization.
Yes. You know, one thing, Crystal, I think you definitely have created a little bit of relief. There's so many different social media platforms. And what I hear you saying is we can choose the best one for our target audience and we don't have to do them all. Because
Mm-hmm.
when you start to think, oh, there's so many, there's Facebook, there's LinkedIn, there's Snapchat, there's Instagram, Pinterest, I don't know if people are even using that, but like it can easily become overwhelming. So it's good to know that we can think about it strategically and make sure that the people that we're targeting, we can think about which platform they're using on a regular basis.
Yeah, I'm all about being able to, like, really focusing your efforts on what is going to really help drive your organization forward. And so just being a little intentional about it on the front end will really help you in saying, okay, this is where we target, this is where we post, but your messaging should already include things that would draw individuals in. So when you do have a requirement, it's really just saying, hey, go ahead and apply. You already know that you like us, so go ahead and apply.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And so the next recruitment hack that I have for you is being able for a candidate to be able to self-select. So many times a position description is written with just, okay, these are the requirements, the qualifications, very kind of boilerplate type of template where we just kind of plug and play. Where although individuals are able to see, okay, these are the qualifications and this is kind of what's needed from a technical standpoint, it doesn't give them a lot of information as to, can I see myself in this organization? So I really like being able to write position descriptions as well as being able to share about the company overall in a way that helps a person imagine themselves there and really seeing how they would be able to contribute not only to the work, but to the organization and to the mission overall. A few months ago, we talked about being able to create a values profile. So we walked through the importance of having values within your organization and then how that goes into a statement and then an overall profile. And I think when you do that work around values, that really can help enhance what you do on the recruitment end. Again, if a values profile is written well, where individuals understand, okay, these are the things that really the organization is rooted in. These are the characteristics that they seek. Then you're able to then be able to say, oh, this really resonates with me. Or if it doesn't, you can also say, well, that doesn't really resonate with me, and that's a way to really help candidates self-select. So instead of you doing a lot of work, once you get resumes in and you get applications, they're doing the work for you. They've already said, I really can identify with this organization. I really like what they stand for. The work sounds interesting and I can see myself in this organization. So they've really done some of that work that you would have to do if it's written well enough for them to be able to really identify or not with the requirements.
Yes, I love that because it seems like doing that work up front will kind of help, I guess, narrow the applicant pool for it to be people who are most aligned with the organization. So I love that. That's a time saver hack, and save time is saves money.
Oh
So,
yeah, definitely, definitely. So let's go to the third one. So the third one, I like all of them, but this one I really like is really being able to find out where the people hang out. So if you have already identified your ideal candidate, you have your values profile, which really informs the types of characteristics, the mindset, the 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 character of an individual, then that helps you really be able to do a little bit of detective work to find out where do these people spend their time. Whether it's what kind of social media platforms are they hanging out on, what groups within these social media
yeah.
platforms may I be able to find these individuals. It can also be where in real life are these kind of individuals, what types of organizations may they be a part of, as so are there professional organizations that would really attract this type of talent and where this talent would reside. Are there like colleges and universities within your area that have affinity groups that may be able to target those type of individuals. Also thinking about, maybe going even a level deeper or a step further, thinking about the types of maybe extracurricular activities that they might do. So, are they really into, like, if you need someone who has great presentation skills, who is maybe into marketing and can help you with sales, well, maybe they would be at a Pechakucha pitch night. And so that
Mm.
might be someplace you want to go.
Mhm.
And so you
Mhm.
could really be able
Or
to target.
Toastmasters.
Yes, Toastmasters, that type of
Mhm.
stuff. So you could
Mhm.
really be able to target the types of activities that you're involved in by really thinking about where do these people hang out, and having this really inform the actions associated with it.
It makes a lot of sense. And I think it's important for us to think physically as well as virtually, since so many people
Mm-hmm.
spend so much time online on their phones or from a desktop. But
Right.
yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense.
Right. Okay. Well, excellent. So we've talked about three so far, and we have two more to go. The next one is just punch up the language in your job description. So what I mean by that is a lot of times we are very technical in the way that we present the opportunities that we have in our organization. And I say just use some punchy language, and that's really just being descriptive and having active words. So you may use a phrase like launch this new product, which is very active, and it also has a different connotation than perhaps you will be responsible for, implementing XYZ. So the way that you utilize word choice can really be able to target individuals. And I mentioned this just kind of as an aside before, but there are two different types of candidates. There are passive candidates, those who
Mhm.
aren't currently looking for a job, and then there are active candidates who are actively searching for new opportunities.
Mhm.
And I really like to tell organizations to focus in on passive candidates, those
Mm.
who are in a current position and who are open to looking at other opportunities. They're not
Mhm.
actively looking, but if there's something that really resonates with them, then they're
Mhm.
like, I might want to know more about it. The thing about passive candidates is typically because they're not looking for a new position, typically they are really engaged in the work that they're doing. But they may be open to looking at different opportunities within another organization. And so passive candidates are a really great a segment of the population to be able to look at. But also, there are great individuals who are actively looking for opportunities as well. And whether they're passive or active, they need to be able to see, like, this is a really exciting job. And by using descriptive language, this punchy language, then it helps them really be able to see the energy, the vibrancy of your organization, and also seeing how they might be able to fit within that organization.
Mhm. Makes a lot of sense to me.
Okay, well, excellent. And so then there's the final one that we're going to talk about, and this is about priming the pump. So I used this term earlier before, pipelining. And in case individuals that are watching do not know this term, so pipelining is really just getting people into your organization, learning about your organization, who you may not they may not become actively engaged in the process
Mhm.
for weeks, months, years. You're just getting them into your pipe, so to speak, so that you can help them move from one area to the next.
Mhm.
They may never apply for their job, or they may apply in 3 to 5 months. The timing is irrelevant. Really thinking about, hey, we're trying to get people in here knowing about us, who identify with our mission, who
Mhm.
have the values that we espouse, and who have the types of skills and knowledge and experiences that would really benefit our company. So, priming the pump, I think we can take some of the strategies from the social media aspect to really apply here. So,
Mhm.
if we're just really being vocal and strategic and intentional about the messaging around who we are as an
Mm-hmm.
organization,
Mm-hmm.
people are starting to connect with us as an organization, starting to connect with us as leaders, and then they are self-selecting that, hey, I want to learn more about this company. I want to stay in contact with them. So when you're priming your pump, you may actually direct them into your applicant tracking system,
Mm.
where it may be just kind of generally saying, okay, I'm interested in knowing more about the organization, and if these type of positions come up, please contact me. It may be getting them onto your newsletter or in your email marketing funnel, just so that you are able to continue the relationship with them. And
Mm-hmm.
then when an opportunity does come up, you already have these individuals who are in the pipeline that you can actually just engage. I would say that you want to ensure that you have consistent communication, whatever that means for your organization. You don't want to
Yes.
have them in your pipeline for 2 years and then all of a sudden come back and be like, hey, how are you doing? You really want to, remain engaged with them in a timing that really works for your organization. There was one other thing I was going to say about priming the pump. Um, it also may be inviting them to events that your organization is involved in,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's something that's specifically related to your recruitment and retention goals, or it could just be, if you're doing a new product launch, or if one of your partners is having an event where it's open to the public and you'll be there. That's a great way to just be able to broadcast, hey, we're going to be here, come join us. And again,
Yes.
it's just really helping develop that relationship, nurture that relationship over time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's a great way to keep people engaged while they're in your pipeline.
Yes. You know, one of the things that I really liked about this last tip or hack, I should say, is that it really applies to different, like recruitment in so many different areas, whether we're talking about employment recruitment, volunteer recruitment, and board member recruitment.
Mm-hmm.
I was recently talking with an organization, and it's amazing because I, at least we got a chance to speak with a few of the different people on the team. And one person who was a board member first started as a volunteer.
Mm-hmm.
And so she entered into that pipeline of learning about the organization, really becoming passionate about the mission, having some hands-on experience, and then she ended up making for a great invested board member. And
Mm-hmm.
then likewise, there's another person that's on the team playing a really significant leadership role who originally started as a volunteered in different capacities, went into a part-time role, and now is in a full-time role that has a lot of responsibilities. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that that whole pipelining idea is really good because when you are promoting from within and potentially shifting someone from one area of your organization to another, and they have all of this context, they have embedded the DNA like they of the organization, like they really understand the mission, they're aligned with the values, they're passionate about serving those clients or customers. It just makes for a really great candidate. So
Right.
um, I think it's like a no-brainer. It makes sense to do it because it puts the organization in such a more solid situation. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Well,
thanks for sharing that.
and I'm glad you mentioned that, because what I shared with pipelining was a bit kind of like externally focused and thinking about candidates outside of the organization. You have you should have a wealth of talent within your organization, and by just keeping them engaged and allowing them to know about, okay, these are the different opportunities that exist within our organization, or being able to see what different departments, different divisions, different clients even look like within your organization, that really helps them understand the organization holistically and see, oh, well, there may be a place for me to be able to grow with the organization. So I'm glad
Mm-hmm.
you mentioned that, because it's not just looking at external individuals, but also you'd want to be pipelining internally too.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, definitely. Well, this is great. Could you just do a recap of all of the five, Crystal?
Sure. Yes. So there are 5 recruitment hacks that you can start today. So the first one is get social, and not for just posting your job positions, but to really be able to have a presence where you're sharing with your target customer, your audience, and your ideal clients what your organization is about overall. So, and then when a job position does become available or some people need is apparent, then you can share that specifically, but you've already developed a relationship and you've consistently been social over time. And you want to find the social networks that really work for you. And don't be afraid to focus in on those that really fit your brand, your identity, and that will be able to have the messaging components that you need to bring forth. So get social. After that, you want to help your applicants to self-select. So the way that you write your position descriptions will help them be able to identify, oh, they're talking about me. This would be a perfect place. And your values profile is really going to support you in being able to do that by identifying the values that you hold dear as an organization, that people will be able to say, oh, these values mirror my own, or you know what, I don't really jive with that. And that'll be able to help them self-select. And that will make your job easier as you go through applications for a particular position. Then you want to find the hangouts for your ideal candidate, whether they're virtually or physically. You want to know where these individuals hang out, and don't be limited to just kind of like technical skills and a checklist of that. You may want to think deeper, or I encourage you to think deeper about the types of interests that an individual have, the types of capabilities, skills, and also letting your values inform a bit of that as well, to be able to see the different spaces where people are hanging out, where they are, and how you can get connected and start forming authentic relationships within these communities. The fourth one is to be able to punch up the job description. So using active, descriptive language that really helps people feel the energy of your organization, to be excited about the work that's being done. And it has the benefit of really attracting passive candidates who aren't really looking right now, but because they see that well-written, descriptive job position, they're like, wow, this sounds like something I want to know people to do that. And then the final one is to be able to prime the pump. So start pipelining your individuals, both internally and externally. You're developing relationships, authentic relationships over time, consistent communication, and then when positions, opportunities come about, when those opportunities come about, you're able to share that with them directly.
That sounds great. That sounds great. Well, so I think we should share with them a resource that would help with their recruitment hacks. Crystal really called out the importance of having a values profile. And so we want to make sure that we offer you that today. A lot of organizations, when they're, especially in early stages, if they do it at all, they may jot down a couple of values and just kind of have it on paper. But what we want to encourage you to do is revisit your values. Take a look at what are the 4 to 5 values that you really feel capture the essence of your organization, and develop a values profile. And so we have a whole guide that helps you do just that. It's very simple, very straightforward. And so we're going to drop the link to that into the comments so that you can utilize it as you drive your organization forward, and you lay a foundation to be able to utilize these great recruitment hacks that Crystal shared with us today. So we want to thank you so much for being with us at today's People Chat, sponsored by the COO team. It's always great to be with you, Crystal. And I'm Lori Ruffin. Don't forget to share this broadcast because you never know who's going to need to recruit, and they need these 5 hacks. So until next time, take care. And if you have any questions around people needs, strategy needs, drop into the comments. We would love to answer them and help you find solutions that will help you grow your organization.